Season 2, Episode 2, Fajitas. Bavette steak, my friend. Right there. That is the most underrated piece of meat there is on the market today. It is a fantastic piece of meat. It comes from the same area that the flank and that the skirt steak come from. That diaphragm area off the sirloin. But this has got a lot more flavor. It's full of fat. This steak, a lot of you guys are probably familiar with a hanger steak, which some people call the butcher steak. This is another one that they call a butcher steak. So the butchers way back in the day, they would toss the flank steaks and the skirt steaks because they were just too tough and nobody was buying them. And that's how fajitas got started. But this steak right here, the bavette, it's fantastic. It's also called the butcher steak, and they used to keep it because it's full of flavor, it's full of fat, and I gotta tell you what, man, it takes a sauce better than any other steak on the market, okay? So bear with me, we're gonna get this thing started and knock out some fajitas for you. See you in a minute. All right, Tommy, I told you a little bit about the steak. I'll tell you a little bit more when we're cooking it. Look, fajitas are pretty easy, right? You got the shells. I've got some sour cream, some guacamole, homemade guac, right? Red onion, tomato, garlic salt, a little Tabasco in here, little pepper. Mash that avocado, really good. Then cut up your tomato and your onion, mix it together, put it all in there, mix it up, and I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's an easy guac. Great way to go with it. We've got our cheese. Okay, I've got some fresh salsa here that I cut up, and I've got some salsa that's store-bought, which is pretty good. I've got some scallions to finish the dish off. Over here I have my peppers and onions. Okay, and then I'm gonna make a little risotto just to put on the side and finish this dish off for you guys. Okay, so listen, I've got this grill set up for indirect heat. I've got one burner over here on the left on. Okay, and the other two burners are off. I'm gonna let this warm up. We want this to warm up. But before we throw it on the grill, this is a little trick. I took this steak out of the fridge about an hour and a half ago. Okay, I want that steak to room temperature before I put it on there for two reasons. One, it's gonna get to the temperature that I want a little bit quicker, and two, I can gauge it. If I pull a steak directly out of a refrigerator and throw it on a hot grill, I have to worry about the thickness, how quick it's going to warm up the center of it, and all that other fun stuff. But if this center is already at 70 degrees, then I know where I'm going, right? Every time. I don't have to worry about the thickness and everything else. I know exactly what the temperature of my steak is starting. So right now we're going to throw this on right here in the center, okay? I'm going to take the thickest part of the meat and put it by the heat, okay? So we go just like this. Alright, take the thickest piece, put it by the heat, and we're just going to let this go for about maybe 6 or 7 minutes like that. I'm going to check on it, we'll flip it over, we'll let it go another 6 or 7 minutes, I'll check on it, and if it's getting to where I need it to be, then we're going to flash hit it hard with high heat and get a nice crisp on the outside of this bad boy, let it rest for a few minutes, and finish out our fajitas. Fajita time! Fajita time! I got my beautiful daughter Lil. And we got our marketing director Sarah Flynn here with us. Are you guys excited?
So excited.
How cool is it? You got automatic taste testers because you're marketing director and you just have
I know. That just happened to me.
We've got a margarita and a virgin margarita here for you guys.
She's almost 21.
All right, well, next year.
Next
year. See me here next year.
So are you guys fajita fans?
I am a fajita fan.
All right. So here's a little tidbit for you, right? If you go out with your friends to a restaurant like Chi-Chi's or Chili's or some Tex-Mex place, and you got fajitas, a couple margaritas, the whole 9 yards, let's say there's 8 to 10 of you, you're going to be running a bill somewhere around $300, right? Figure $7 a drink. By the time you pay the $25, $30 per couple, or if you buy them individually, you're going to end up with tip, tax, and all that other good stuff around $300. Wow. I'm going to show you how to make these fajitas for less than $95, and that will include maybe another extra 10 margaritas in that. It'll include probably 6 or 7 more fajitas for you guys, and it'll include some additional sides. So for like $9 a person, you can eat like a king, or you can pay $30 a person. You know, it's up to you. But think about this, college students. If you save that $200, that is like 6 cases of beer. That is
A keg.
yeah, it's definitely a keg. Think big, Lily. Think big, kiddo. That's. So, anyways, fajitas. All right. We've got the topping. So I've got the steak on. I told everybody earlier that we're using a Babette steak, which is a great steak for fajitas. We've got sour cream, guac, the cheeses, the toppings. I've got some chips for you guys that I'm going to break out here in a minute, and then I'll finish this steak off. It's on indirect heat. It's going to take about another 20 minutes or so. And then I'm going to throw it in with the sauce, or the onions and the peppers, and we're ready to go.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Yum.
Hey, break out those marks, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. All right, Tommy, I want to show everybody what that indirect heat is doing, okay? So I've got the heat over here. I'm going to put it over here a little bit later, but I just wanted to show you that I'm not really charred on the outside of that, right? Everything in here, this is warm on the outside, but everything in here is starting to melt, and that's what I want, really, really slow. You want to taste a good piece of sausage, cook it really slow, and then pan fry the outside of it. Same thing here with these tougher steaks, okay? This one's not as hard to do as a flank or a skirt, but that's exactly the same technique you want to do. And you can do it reverse, right? I can sear the outside hard and then put it in the indirect, but I feel I have better control over the meat and the temperature doing it this way and kind of reversing it. So I kicked the other burner on, so I've got the 2 outside burners on, okay? And I've got this steak still going. It's getting nice and warm in here. I can feel it, right? I can feel it even start to crust on the top. If you look from the first time, you can tell it's starting to cook a little bit, right? So I'm going to give it a flip. And we're going to just let this go for maybe another 5 or 6 minutes. When I feel like that is all melted on the inside, then we're going to turn this bad boy on, heat this sucker up, and flash fry it on both sides. So I turned both sides of these grills up on high now. Okay, this is ready. I can feel it. So what we want to do, hear that sizzle? We want to get that char on the outside now. So I'm going to hit this side with it. I'm going to let this side heat up, and I'll flip this side back over on this one. Okay? And we'll let it go. We don't want to let this go too long because we don't want to overcook it, right? So I got a nice little char. I can feel it on there. I'm going to give it a quick flip. All right, I can still feel it. That's sitting right at a rare right now. I'm going to let it go on this side for a little bit. I'm going to turn the center one on. Okay, and I'm going to throw it across the grill here in a couple minutes, and we're going to finish it off. Okay, we don't want this to go too long because we don't want it to overcook, but I do want to get a little bit more char coming across it. Okay, that's just about ready. I'm going to give this about a minute on this side, flip it, a minute on the other side, and we're taking it off. We pull this off. All right, now we're just gonna let it rest at least 5 minutes, preferably 10. All right, we want all that fat to settle back in there and that flavor to come back right back where it started, okay? Then I'm gonna slice it up. I'm gonna put it on top of our peppers and onions that I put some fajita mix in, and then we're gonna serve these bad boys, okay? Got it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yum. Delicious.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Just how I like it.
Tommy, you want a bite? Before
Yes,
I cut it up?
please.
I'll tell you what, you take one and I'll take one. There you go.
It's great.
Wow.
Cheers to pigs.
And pies. And pie.
There you go. All right, guys.
Alright, first bite.
Be careful. It might be a little hot. Okay. You having trouble biting through that?
Oh my god.
How is it, bro? You like sour cream?
Yum.
That's really good. I think I do like sour cream now. Dad, actually.
She's a changed woman.
I'm new. I turned 21.
And your taste buds were like, yep.
How's the
It's
risotto?
really,
Let's
really
taste
good.
that.
Oh my god. That's really good. The risotto's really good. Yeah.
Logan's over here sleeping.
This is so good, actually, the fajita. This is better than Chili's. What are you talking about?
Could I get a rating on a scale of 1 to 10?
They were delicious. 1 to 10. I'm gonna give them an 8.75. They were delicious.
I'm gonna go up to a 9. Obviously, I've had these fajitas quite a lot in my time because my dad is Chef Cavy. So, but I have to say, Dad, when you made the fajita, it seems to be better when I actually put everything on it. So, I'll give it a 9. 10 out of 10 for everything around. I'll give it a 9 because I'm just comparing it to my own.
Fair.
I don't think it was
Hey,
good.
it's a fajita, right? So, cheers, guys. Thank you for coming. Love
Thank you
having
for
both of
having
you.
us.
Sarah, thank you for everything that you do.
Of course.
Right? Lily, thank you for everything that you do. And we will see you guys on a future episode.
Of course.
Right?
Cheers.
Cheers.